just let it go. Mm-hmm. I was out in the middle of nowhere on a beach. I looked out into the distance and all I saw was green. There wasn't one evidence of modern man or technology, no planes flying over. I didn't catch a glimpse of any power poles. I felt like I had been there before and that it was hundreds of years earlier. It was a feeling I've had a few times, almost nostalgic, reminiscent of a more innocent time or dangerous and adventurous. We get used to what we have. I sure love to drive, but I always loved to ride along when my dad was driving too. Sometimes it felt like he was trying to scare me, and that was fun too. But since my last near-death experience, I haven't really been as scared as much about most stuff. And since I'm afraid of heights, but I never let it stop me during any work, like climbing a mast while I was out fishing or doing that roofing. Gotta get the job done, even if you're afraid. But we stopped up on Marine Hill, and there was glare of ice on the pull out where we got off the road, and we started sliding, and there was no guardrail, and we were going straight towards the cliff edge. My dad asked me to get out and push. I didn't even ask him seriously. I just did what he said. I got behind the tailgate. My thought was, well, this seems pointless. I wonder if they're just gonna get out of the truck if we get close enough and just leave me to die. I could just, try and get back around the tailgate without slipping and just take off and hope they get traction. But I knew I couldn't. That wasn't even an option. That me wouldn't have been able to live with themselves, even if they had made it, because I would have known that I'd abandoned them in their time of need. So I said, F that. I would rather die with my family and die as a man than have to live with myself, knowing that I just bailed on them. So I kept pushing on the tailgate, my feet sliding on the glare ice. And then my feet slid over the edge of the cliff. I reflexively grabbed the tailgate, and that's the only thing that saved my life. I'm sure that if I would have fallen into the abyss, I would have died. Either just broken apart on the rocks below or drowned or both. I was praying to Jesus too. Please save me, my family and me. And amazingly, as soon as my feet went over the edge and I grabbed the tailgate, we caught traction and started moving forward. It was a miracle. Jesus told me to stop blaming myself for things that aren't my fault. Came to me in a dream one time. That's my testimony on that. Otherwise, God never said that I had to behave in a certain way to still believe in God or to be a good Christian. I'm a good person and I believe in God, and I don't believe that I have to believe in God the same way as other people because I don't know that they do. Only that they say they do. Anyway, we got to the road. I got in the truck, tried to talk to them about it. I was a little shaken up. My nerves still frayed and excited, but I just didn't say anything. That close to that near-death experience, I was still in awe of being alive. I kind of mentioned it years later, just testing the waters to see if, you know, what it was like for them. And I found out that they didn't have a near-death experience, even though we all did, because of where they were sitting in the truck, in the cab, in the front. From their perceptions, they didn't know how close we got to dying and not having traction. Is what I'm thinking. Either that or they just didn't want to think about it. But they didn't know what I was talking about. They don't even know that, like, although it didn't matter that I was behind the tailgate pushing, like, I'm not going to say I saved their life because I don't think it made a difference. But at least I didn't bail on them. And that means a lot to me. They'll never know because I'll never tell them. But it means a lot to me. Plus, I ain't trying to guilt trip them. Like, my sister sided with one of my bosses that ripped me off one time, and I was going to use that money to get a new vehicle and also to see my kids. I didn't get to see my kids for another 3 years. It really made me hate her. Then she went and had a baby, like right after that, and I thought, wow, I hope, she probably won't even think about me because she's selfish like that, and probably doesn't even know that she did something wrong because she's kind of a sociopath or a psychopath. But I thought to myself, well, I hope she gets it now, like, hey, I wasn't that bad of a brother. I didn't actually hurt you or abuse you. I just pretended to because you told me that you were a better person than me because dad didn't beat the shit out of you for no reason. And I said, God damn it, I didn't want to have to be this guy, Autumn, but that's not true. And I take that beating because somebody has to. And it's better that one person gets beat up all the time than everybody, but you don't have to pretend that you're a better fucking person than me. Now I have to fucking beat you. And I don't want to. I don't want to be abusive and a bully, but luckily I didn't really have to. I just had to pretend to. And that's where I solved the dilemma. I was like, oh, I'll just pretend to. And then she told everybody I was abusive and shit, but who cares? If those people believed her, they're fucking dumb. I'm obviously not abusive because you treat a person like themselves, not the person that you pretend they are, especially to the person you're pretending they are. They'll know. Like, I know because I know me, so I know what I've done. And if you expect me to feel bad about something I didn't do and like hate on me, I know. You don't, if that's what you believe, because you believe something that's untrue, but that's not my fucking fault. I don't hang out with people like that anymore. They're my own family members, some of them, but so what? If somebody consistently gets you wrong all the time, then you're a fucking hero for putting up with it anymore after a certain point. It's like, I'm not depressed anymore because I don't hang around people like that. There's not somebody telling me that I did something and then telling me why I did it and then accusing me and getting mad at me when I don't agree with them. I don't have to constantly convince somebody that I'm a good person or defend myself in my actions and tell them, like, no, I didn't say that to hurt your feelings or for the reason that you think. It was actually this instead in context of our conversation. There's always at least two ways you can interpret anything. At least. Yeah. Because of you, I'm neurotic as hell. Because of you, I've second guessed myself.